Hey, girl. Hey. And Happy New Year, girl.
Happy New Queers, honey. Happy New
It
Queers.
is the Lord's year
Yes.
of 2023, and we are back again.
I am very bemused.
We that is a way to put it. Girl, aren't you glad I told you about Miley and Dolly last night?
I am. I was like, because I don't pay. I haven't watched the TV
Yeah,
countdown in so long.
yeah.
But when you said those two words to me, I was like, we
So
stopped Star Trek immediately. I was like, stop.
so I last year we were watching because we usually watch CNN
Yep.
till Kathy Griffin got gone away, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was like, well, what are we gonna watch? What we got? And we kind of like piddled through them. We watched some anime that every year, the Polar Bear Cafe, the little 5 sequence around from Christmas to New Year's. It's one of the best,
I love
sweetest
that show.
sequences of things. So that's one of our traditions. We watch that every year. But then it's like, well, how are we going to count? And we go out to dinner, and then we come back home. We're like, well, how are we going to count down to the new year? So last year, Miley put on her concert with Pete Davidson as her guest host,
Okay.
and it was fantastic. Like
Oh.
was it SZA? Was that the one she brought on? Was that the person she brought on stage? I don't remember who she brought. Like good acts,
Okay.
like really good acts. And this year, again, really good acts.
Yeah, I saw the thing today. I watched it, the David Byrne. I was like, oh, that
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And then if you watch the David Byrne and Sia thing, that's when you find out, oh, they're actually singing live because he was screwing up. Like he was flat and it was screwing up. And there's some points in Wrecking Ball that Dolly sounds real breathy that I'm sure she does not want anybody to like, because that is so low for her. It was so good. Like it was great.
You know me. All you have to say is the word Dolly Parton, and I will change the channel.
So girl, as you know, but my listeners don't know, my grandmother got COVID recently.
I don't want to talk. I'm still triggered.
Dear listeners, I would like to get on a little soapbox real quick. As we had to take her into the hospital because her lungs, she couldn't breathe and her lungs full of junk. Her voice still ain't right, and she's not wearing her hearing aids, so she can't hear anything. Anyway,
Lord have mercy.
she's one of us.
I know.
Anyway, anyway, as she was sitting there, the doctor in the ER was like, "Well, glad she got her 4 vaccinations. Otherwise, she'd be on a ventilator right now." Get up to the room, the doctor up there. Well, be glad she took her vaccinations. Otherwise, she'd be on a ventilator right now. The pulmonologist came in. No, she had her vaccinations. That's why she's not on a ventilator right now. Dear listeners, all this is to say, please, if you have not yet,
Preach, Henny.
please take your vaccinations. Just because, it seems like it's not, as bad as it was, and there is a lot of immunity out there. If you had COVID at the beginning of this stuff, you are no longer immune, right? Your immunity does not last forever. And we really don't know if it protects you from being hospitalized. Like getting the disease will protect you from being hospitalized. We know the vaccines do. We don't know if the actual disease does. So and Maim is sipping some tea. I highly, highly, highly suggest you get vaccinated. The more you know, star by my head.
We've all had to deal with a little prick every once in a while. You can too.
Girl, little, big, all over the place. Just, girl,
Economy size. Carry on.
full-fledged trunk.
Dump truck girl.
A dump truck, girl.
Not a dump truck girl.
There ain't no room
Y'all,
for that in my garage.
y'all got a gallon jug. I'm gonna take it home.
Girl, and last night as I was watching, I kid you not, so I was looking on, I was watching CNN to see if Don Lemon was going to be drunk.
Nope, not allowed.
Not allowed, but he did say, "Do you think I'm drunk right now?" Multiple times. Like, this is just how I live. Now, his family was all turned with the tea.
Yes.
And then he's like, and here we have Usher. So it went over to Usher, who's performing somewhere, I think in Vegas.
Yeah, he's doing the Vegas residency right now.
And like, girl, I kid you not,
Every black
woman from the age of 35 to 65
having their best life.
Was just having a collective orgasm right there. It was just, he was just dancing around his gay ass self. And just like...
They're having the time of their life.
They're like, oh, yeah, Usher, my baby. And his hair is like gold colored right now.
Right.
And it's got real light finger waves in it.
Lord, what are you talking about?
I don't know if his finger waves or if he just, combed it that way to have little ridges. Either way, they look too deep to be that to me. It looked like little micro finger waves to me.
Are finger waves coming back on that level?
I hope so. Then you can wear them in drag.
Do you know how long it takes to put in a finger wave?
Girl, speaking of things that take too long, dear listeners.
That's a great segue.
We have a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com, Mims and Maim, you can throw us some money. Hey, Maim.
Yes?
Did you know that we have another podcast?
I did.
Dear listeners, it's called You Slay Me. It's our Murder, She Wrote podcast. Hey, Maim.
Yes?
Did you know in this time after Christmas that we have merchandise?
Dear
listeners, if you go to mimsandmaim.com, you can buy us some stuff. You can buy some stuff. I don't know. You just do it.
You can buy us.
Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Do you know what I love?
Lots of things. Edible.
That's true. Specifically, oh my God, last night I had this tuna. Oh.
You were such a foodie.
Girl, we went to this Mexican restaurant. Well, it's a Mexican seafood restaurant last night to celebrate the New Year called Cortez in Raleigh. They had like, it was their waves of food to celebrate the New Year. And like the surf and turf was spicy ribeye. And then the surf was tuna that was with like corn salsa over it that was served rare. But no, I like 5-star reviews, girl. Dear listeners, if you enjoy this podcast, please leave us a review. 5 stars preferred. We read each other the reviews, or I read them to Maim because I have
a little kiki. I'm like, oh my God!
I have the thing that collects all of the reviews together, and I can just copy and paste them easier than having to go to the websites.
You really like us.
You do like us. You do really like us. Girl.
Yes.
Oh, we could talk about the next podcast. You ready to get in this podcast?
Sure, let's do it.
This is season 4, episode 5. The Girlfriend.
Girl.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out. The lights went out. The lights went out. The lights went out. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
We thought he was gay.
I mean, this does not help the argument, but it's fine.
How much better would this have been had it been Loretta Devine?
Oh, man.
Because she would have been the right age for that right then.
That would have been perfect too. Oh.
Like,
They should have had now that you have said that, they should have really leaned in like a series of guest starring girlfriends.
Of bad girlfriends. Just.
That would have been so good.
Yes. But then that would have taken away from. But, just giving him like one every
season.
Every season. Just new girlfriend every season. Or 2 girlfriends every season. One in spring, one in fall.
Yeah.
And then it could have been like a special girlfriend episode, like you got used to.
Could you imagine in the mid 80s? Like, there's so many amazing actresses that could have, like, especially from people of color, to give the show a little bit of some.
Girl, at one point, it could have been an old woman, like it could have been Nell Carter. Like
Nell Carter, it could have been Debbie Allen.
Yes.
Oh, because that was like Cosby Show era Debbie Allen.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They missed out.
They did. They really, really did.
Like Nell Carter and they could have gone to something because Nell Carter and Julie were both singing at the same benefit show. Oh my gosh.
And then Nell Carter says no at the end because she's just too good for him or something like that. Even though he's much younger. Much younger.
Oh my gosh. What's wrong with
I mean, hell, well, she wouldn't have been an actress at the time, but you could have even thrown in a Janet Jackson at that point.
Yeah, Janet, well, she would have been a little young.
In 86?
86, it could have been a young Whoopi Goldberg.
Actually, this was 88.
This could have, yeah.
It could have been Whoopi Goldberg, couldn't it? It could have been, yeah.
Giving Julia a run for her money.
Yep.
Oh.
Yup.
Oh, man. Instead, we got
Unnamed Actress 4.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mary Jo was having an argument with a contractor. The Dellingham's kitchen was supposed to be finished by Friday. And he was supposed to be there earlier this week to, like, get it done. She has a note that said it was going to be finished by Monday morning. It wasn't. He gives a bunch of excuses, so they just
I love
fire
that
him.
part. I love that part. That was great. Him just rattling off the excuses was so good.
Yup. Girl, I signed up for Tubi and I keep getting little notifications for it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. The oblongs are on Tubi.
Okay.
That'll be after what the next one we have. That'll be a quick
oblongs.
Because there's only like 7 episodes of that.
Down in the valley of a chemical spill. Sorry. I love that theme song.
So they're like, well, why don't we just call Mary Jo's like, why don't we just call Fritz? Charlie's like, isn't he the one that put all the wallpaper on upside down and fell asleep in the people's tub? Got drunk, fell asleep in the people's tub? I mean, I don't know if we want to call Fritz, but I'd like to party with Fritz. I don't know about you, girl.
Fritz sounds amazing, actually.
Doesn't he?
I was like, oh, he's a good time. I like him.
And Julia's like, well, they don't really care unless they're doing the governor's mansion or Ted Turner's doghouse. Dear listeners, at this time, Ted Turner had a multi-million-dollar doghouse built for his dogs. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it
was awesome.
Ted Turner was a fun dude. Like
I miss those kinds of ridiculous rich people.
Yeah.
That just did stupid stuff with their money. It was just like, you know what? I don't have your money, but at least you're doing something stupid.
Yeah, and like for those of you that don't know, Ted Turner founded CNN. Like CNN, Turner
TBS.
Broadcasting, which is TBS, TNN.
Yeah.
No, that's the National Network.
TNT girl.
TNT.
I was like, TNT.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Nashville Network. The Nashville Network.
Not the Nashville Network, girl, that later became Spike TV.
Oh my gosh. Remember the good old days where they would have like the Gaither family homecoming on Sunday afternoons, and all of the country singers would sit around in a big circle and sing old gospel hymns.
Yes, I do. And do you remember when we got what was the one from Chicago that had Bozo the Clown on in the morning?
Oh, the
WGBN or W?
It's Superstation WGN.
Yeah.
It's still around.
Is it? Oh God.
It's still around.
God, that was.
I forgot about the Bozo the Clown being on.
Hey guys, how are ya? Welcome. It's Bozo.
Think about that. We are just old enough that we were at the end of the Bozo the Clown era. Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought of how privileged we are. But
is that what that is?
Hey, I mean, we had clowns ruined for us much earlier than kids did with Hit.
So speaking of clowns, I went to the Cherokee Casino.
As you do.
As you do. My mother had to sleep. Oma was in the hospital. So my grandmother was in the hospital. My mom had to sleep. I was like, I need to get away so my mother can sleep. Dear listeners, my mother is a night nurse. So she needed to sleep. So I get in the car. And then I was picking my husband up from the airport in Charlotte. So you
were doing some driving.
I was, girl. I did that whole little triangle of North Carolina. Ooh, so I did the 3 hours from Statesville to Cherokee. Went to my favorite Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know why that Dunkin' Donuts in Maggie Valley is the best Dunkin' Donuts I've ever been to, but it is literally the best Dunkin' Donuts I've ever been to.
Okay.
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know. It must be the racism. So I go up the mountain, get down the mountain. Anyway.
That pine-scented racism.
I'm in the casino and I'm playing my card game, which is 4-card poker. Anyway, it's just like, it's like blackjack, but not. So I'm sitting there and I'm with 3 other people, like the dealer and all of us are from North Carolina.
Okay.
So the ones to my left are from Western North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. They have my accent.
Right, exactly.
The dealers from Asheville, from rural Asheville.
Oh, okay.
The dude to my right has, I think he's from Eastern North Carolina because he has 13 plus marbles in his mouth.
Yes, that sounds like Eastern.
Where are you doing?
Oh, wow. That sounds like my ex's father.
Girl, we are sitting there, and all of a sudden, he's drunk, too. Like, he has been gambling. It is 11 o'clock in the morning. He has been gambling since at least 9 p.m. the night before. And he's got a little smell to him, which happens. And then all of a sudden, apropos of nothing, y'all ever been to Vegas and gone to Circus? Now, I ain't scared of clowns or nothing, but there ain't nothing but clown there, and I'm a grown-ass man. Those clowns come around, I jumped back and had to run. It scared the hell out of me.
How did we end up on this subject?
A bozo.
But how do we end up on Bozo?
WGBN or whatever.
How do we get to WGN? Ted
Ted
Turner. That's
Turner. There you go.
It's like, where in the world did this go to this?
Well, Suzanne mentioned that Julia had a humiliating experience today.
I think we just did too.
She just went to the department stores and tried on a dress. Okay. And like I picture him Belk, girl.
I think Belk as well.
At the time it was Belk.
Yeah.
Or Hudson Belk, depending on where she's from.
Could have been a Dillard's.
Could have been Dillard's. She is fancy, ain't she?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Dillard's in. Which still has the largest selection of Fiesta wear in the world.
Thank God Dillard's still exists.
Whatever. Anyway, so she was trying it on, and she didn't like anything she was putting on.
Okay, that happens.
So she tried on the dress that was in the dressing room, and as she was turning around, somebody opens the door, and a woman says, "What are you doing in my dress?"
I mean, normally a person could just say easily, "Well, you left it in the dressing room."
Why the hell did you leave the dressing room?
Right?
Like.
I mean, I could see how. The thing that's interesting
to me
80s. Is. Not in the
80s. That is not that you changed.
I tried to logistically figure this part out, right? Mm-hmm. Because I thought to myself, where did she leave the dress, number one? And then number two, how long was she outside of the dressing room?
Yeah.
Because did Julia walk out and just kind of wander the dressing room?
So here's the thing. the way that I remember 80s dressing rooms, the rooms had full-length mirrors in them.
Yes.
And they sort of had individual lights over them.
Correct.
And there's a little tiny hallway. At the end of a hallway, there was a bigger mirror, right?
That's true.
So she would have had to... The only time I've ever seen somebody come out was to go to the bigger mirror
and see the full length.
And she would have seen her go into her dressing room.
Right. So that's what I mean. I was like,
this woman left her dressing room to go march around.
Yeah. She left the dressing room area.
Yeah, probably not wearing any shoes.
Ooh.
Walking around that horrible carpet of Belk.
I hope she wore undergarments.
She probably wore hose. Getting all staticky. From that polyply carpet at Belk.
Polyply. I hate you so much sometimes.
Well, Anthony's here.
Hi, Anthony.
And Lita left some messages for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and blah, 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 pick up Chinese food without MSG. Charlie's like, well, she seems a little picky, to which Anthony goes, well, she did pick me.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said that to me once. That was a compliment somebody gave me once about
what they did pick you.
Yeah, that they were picky, but they picked me.
What did they pick you for? It wasn't dodgeball.
Oh, Lord. Hey, people liked picking me for dodgeball. I was very good at dodging balls. Never mind. I wish I hadn't said that out loud.
Things changed later on in life, didn't they?
All right. Dodging them to wrangling them. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wrangling them. Putting that little lasso.
My little lasso of truth, girl.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, so they start talking about contractors to Anthony and how hard it's been. And Anthony's like, well, you know what? How about me? Why don't you pick me to be your contractor? He hands him a card that shows that he's got a contractor license.
What?
And that he will, like, has a ladies' day and will eat a bug if it's late.
Oh, wow, Anthony. That is impressive.
And Charlie's like, hey, I love it. You'll eat a bug. He's like, no, that's just a gimmick.
Oh.
And he explains that he uses ex-cons for, to work in the houses. And dear listeners, I'd like to give a little shout out to a place in Durham, North Carolina, if you're ever in the area. It's called Trosa. It's a nonprofit that does use ex-cons for things like moving. They do some other like job sort of thing. So I've used them myself to move.
Oh,
the only thing they will not lift is it's ex-cons and addicts. So the only thing they will not lift or touch is alcohol, because to quote them, we can't guarantee that's going to make it to those from this place to the other. I'm like, it's only 3 miles, and they looked at me and blinked. I was like, it's fine, I'll pick it up.
Wow.
That's in the contract too. They will not move alcohol.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, and they're fantastic. They are fantastic. Dear listeners, it's called Trosa. It's in Durham. I highly suggest them.
The more you know.
They have moved a piano for me.
Okay, pianos.
Girl, we had a piano, the cursed piano. It was a free piano. It scratched my floor up. And then because a wheel fell off of it. And then we had to move that son of a bitch upstairs because we had some other issues downstairs. And then we had to get a mover in here. And the thing was out of tune all the time. Like, it was so old it really couldn't be tuned. It weighed like 500 pounds. Cursed piano.
Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds terrible. But also...
Yeah.
It could be like its own musical.
The cursed piano?
Yeah. Right? If it was like symbolizing like a relationship falling apart at the same time, It is about the piano, but it isn't about the
They
piano.
already did that musical. It's called Rent. So we are
The cursed everything. Just quiet enough. Just quiet enough.
I know. So Julia's a little apprehensive because this is the big job, right?
Yeah, it's a huge job.
And she's like, and just aside, Anthony's like, when you meet Lita, you're going to meet her soon. Just remember to call me the director of transportation because her titles matter a lot. And Suzanne's like, of course titles are important because people could, if they weren't, people could just call them Miss America and they wouldn't, they would
They were
just
the
be
first,
Miss
the
America.
first runner-up. That's right.
Yeah.
They could be first runner-up and be the Miss Americas.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
So they're like, okay, we're desperate to be a contractor. Julia's like, let's make this a professional interview for this. Do you have any experience? And he's like, I put up a
Spice rack for an old widow.
And everybody's like, you're hired.
Those old widows can be tricky.
They can be. I can't. Maybe one day maybe I'll just start dressing like an old widow.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Just
Black
like
lace.
Miss Haversham.
Black lace. Lots of
Black lace. No girl. Dark gray. I want to be like silvered lace.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If I'm a widow, I'm just going to wear dark red velvet.
Velvet's so warm in Miami.
I'll do what I have to.
But not black velvet and that slow southern style.
Make love to that microphone,
A new
honey.
religion that'll bring you to your knees.
Yes.
Black velvet, if you please.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That was nice.
Aren't you glad that Raja won?
Yes. Very much so.
I don't know if you caught it, but we didn't mention this, dear listeners. This is the Canada versus the world. A while back, in one of the first few episodes, Victoria Scone is talking about the word fish and how she does not like the word fish.
I remember that, yes.
And I don't know if you caught it, but she said as a born female, not assigned female at birth, not any kind of... She used a very transphobic language for a hot second. Yeah. And we're like, oh, I guess the Brits still can't get this right.
Even when they're trying to make a point.
That's beside the point. Let's get back to this.
Girl, just by the way, when that whole thing got started, I just started tuning out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Lord, here we go.
And let me also tell you, Silky Nutmeg Ganache did not beat Rita Baga at all. Like,
yes, but honey, it made for we knew that Rita won't go win no way, and it made for a compelling finale to have the serve girls going up against each other.
That's true.
Those
That's
producers
true.
knew what they were doing.
Huh?
Those producers knew what they were doing.
That's true. I mean, yes, that is absolutely true. But
that's one good way to make sure that you probably get near the finale is align yourself with somebody that's very good, because that way you'll find out later you'll be pitted against each other. I will gladly take the fall for second place.
So we're at the Dellinghams now, and they're looking at this horrible kitchen like nothing's done. Mm-hmm. Like
literally nothing. It looked terrible.
And they start talking about Jimmy and Rosalind Carter and Habitat for Humanity.
Yes.
And Julia goes off on the Reagans, how they have done nothing since leaving the presidency, except, having huge parties and taking the money for themselves.
Yep.
And Suzanne's like, I know where this all started. This started when Nancy Reagan was wearing that white dress with that one arm or one shoulder white dress with those pearls. It looked so pretty. And Julia just said, I don't know what they're all up in arms about. Wilma Flintstone's been wearing that for years.
It's funny because when she said that, I
Uh-huh.
literally remembered that outfit like so
Yup.
distinctly that it was
Excuse me.
like, ah, it was jarring. I was like, oh gosh, I do remember that outfit. But she's right. Wilma did do it better.
Mm-hmm. Suzanne is also upset that she thinks Lita's exploiting Anthony.
That's Suzanne's job.
Exactly. And Charlene's like, well, maybe she's, and Suzanne's like, white. To which Charlene goes, black people can be just as offensive as white people. Suzanne just screams, thank you, Coretta Scott King.
Oh,
God.
that is a. I think it's funny though because when they were talking about that, it actually there was something interesting because it is very foreshadowing of our current
Uh-huh.
just like things that are happening right now
Uh-huh.
because you do actually have this new emerging like black GOP and
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
they very much act kind of like Lita. I mean, in all honesty,
Yeah.
she kept calling him like the Black Donald Trump. You'll be the Black Donald Trump.
Mhm.
It's like, oh boy.
Yep.
It's like, well, that's sad.
Yeah, Lita would never vote for Republican though.
Why not?
Not yet. Not at this time. Not in the 80s.
I don't know. She might have, because I mean they are in Atlanta, and there is that subset of Atlanta
That's
that
true.
they,
That's
they
true.
cared much more about their
That's
tax
true.
bracket than their
Mhm.
actual culture.
So a lot of research, or some research, is now showing millennials as they get older. The baby boomers, the greatest generation, and Gen X, as they've gotten older, they've gotten more conservative, right?
Mhm.
They've tended to vote a little more Republican. Millennials have not, and most of it is because they never got rich.
I
Yeah.
mean, literally, that's the thing about this whole thing that I've been
Uh-huh.
wondering myself. I'm like, guys, you do realize at some point, because
Mhm.
of the way that the classes are now and the wealth inequality,
Mm-hmm.
that thing is not happening anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we gonna
Uh-huh.
fight for? So I mean, I'm not surprised. Isn't it? That's so depressing to me, though. I mean, it always has been, but just the idea of money and holding on to money and keeping your money makes you vote against whole groups of people, and they're
Mm-hmm.
it just
Mm-hmm.
ugh.
When Trump started running for president at my job, like, there was, I worked with a bunch of older black people, right?
Mhm.
Who, rural, salt of the earth people, both black and white, and then there were the rich white guys. They were really good friends. Like, they were all really good friends. They were all same economic status now,
Right.
but at the time, but when they started and years ago, the white people had more money than the black guys who
Mhm.
came to work there because they worked the way up. And the old sort of patriarch black dude had to have a coming to Jesus with these guys, and I heard it. He was letting them absolutely have. How could you call yourself my friend and ever think to vote for this man, this crazy ass man?
This crazy ass man who said absolute terrible things about
Uh-huh.
whole swaths of our
Uh-huh.
population.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that. What do they always say about fiscal Republicans? Are like they vote while holding their nose.
Mhm.
Like and I think it was all like, you guys could just not do that. You could actually, because first of all, most of the Democratic Party are still very much about people making money. It's
Yep.
not full of a bunch of socialists. It's
Nope.
really not. So
Nope.
I don't know why and how over the decades and decades and decades, they still act like that group is like that. I'm like, have you met the Democrats? They are also millionaires. They want to keep their money as well.
Well, Anthony and Lita are here, and there's a discussion about, will Anthony be able to get done by Friday at 5? Anthony's not so sure. The ladies are all like, yeah, well, we need it done by 5 because Dellingham's going to be here. Lita's like, well, he could just walk because he's your last hope, and Anthony's like, no. I owe these women a lot. I will do my best.
Talking on behalf of Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
telling his work business.
So we're at Sugar Bakers. Suzanne goes up to Mary Jo. Do you like Anthony's girlfriend? She's like, well, I don't really know her. Neither do I. And like she goes around to everybody. They're all like making up excuses why they don't want to answer. And she's like, okay, so it's unanimous.
It's unanimous.
And Charlie's like, this reminds me of a book I read once where a girlfriend comes between her man and his job, and y'all don't want to hear about this.
They didn't.
And
She was right.
Suzanne said it's definitely interfering with his work because last night she called at 10 for Anthony to come over and open up a mayonnaise jar, and he said no.
Which that is very unlike Anthony. So I mean, I think that's not a bad thing. That
He was
Anthony
probably
is...
getting that poo nanny.
Oh, Henny, no! Oh, Suzanne interrupted Anthony getting busy. Oh Lord, that is not something I wanted to think about at all.
Well, Julia calls Lita a yuppie, and Julia hates that phrase. So Charlene goes into a story about, I don't know where it came from, about the Dairy Queen manager who was there, worked for a week, and was the fastest person ever promoted to a Dairy Queen manager. And
25 years later.
25 years later, he's still a Dairy Queen manager.
Because he had a good first week, that was all.
Yeah.
I did find that to be funny and also relatable. It made me think of her hometown.
Well, Anthony's accountant comes in. He's a very Ben Stiller type.
Yes.
Not Ben Stiller.
Ben Stein.
Ben Stein, thank you. God, that would have been a nonsense right there, wouldn't it? Hey, I'm here with the money and the ha!
Oh, yeah, especially 80s Ben Stiller.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy. Oof.
You know,
He's
I'm not a big... Are you a fan of Ben Stiller?
I like a few of his movies. Yeah.
Which
Not
ones?
a lot. I did actually enjoy Zoolander.
I like Zoolander. That's
and I really enjoyed, although he wasn't necessarily the star, he was like the villain. I really enjoyed Dodgeball. Because I just thought
Dodgeball didn't do it for me.
Well, I mean, like I said,
I like Flirting with Disaster, but that's Ben Stiller not really being Ben Stiller.
That's because Mary Tyler Moore was being a badass.
Oh, and Téa Leoni. You know how my feelings for Madam Secretary.
And I seem to remember, although I haven't seen it in a long time, I do remember I actually did like the sketch comedy show that they did on MTV back when it was like Janine Garofalo and all of them.
I hate to admit that I like Tropic Thunder.
Why do you hate to admit it? It's a great movie.
That blackface the entire way through.
Okay, let's talk about that real quick, right? Okay. Obviously, we're going to...
Well, no, let's save that for next week.
You sure?
Because next week is that episode. We will put a pin in that.
I can't wait to get into that. Oh man, because it's so much deeper than people realize. So it's fine. I'm stop talking. The same for Tropic Thunder. They actually have that thing in common, but we'll talk about it next week.
So Anthony's accountant was arrested for embezzlement. So now we're back at the Dellinghams, and Lita comes in.
Hey, Greg.
And Anthony's very upset because the kitchen is not finished.
He looks finished.
He got the bill of materials and the workers cut corners. Like the stuff's just going to like pop back up in a month or a year or two. And Lita says, "Oh, that's fine. By that time, we could all be dead."
She is not a cool character at all.
And Anthony's like, "Look, me and these ladies trust each other, and I want to do a job well done, and nothing's going to get between me and that. And if you don't like it, walk." And she's like, "Are you saying work's more important than your personal life?" "Yes." "You're going to be the Black Donald Trump."
And to that, I would say, technically, by Anthony's actions, he isn't going to be the Black Donald Trump because what his workers did is what Donald Trump would have done.
Yup.
Like, honestly.
So Anthony sends Lita to stall. Because he knows that the ladies are going to be there early. So we're at Sugar Baker's, and Lita tries to stall. Basically says, "Why does everyone hate me?" There's a little bit of conversation, and Julia's like, "Well, you're pushy and opinionated, and you remind me of someone." Charlene just goes, "You?" I was gonna say Leona Helmsley.
Which, same thing. Remember when we were weirdly obsessed with Leona Helmsley when we were kids? We were, but we were like unhealthily obsessed with Leona Helmsley for a little bit. It was
she was a mean nonsense. What she was.
It's just sometimes now when we go backwards in time during these episodes and these references come up, I do try to figure out like what's going on with these two kids that were obsessed with Leona Helmsley.
Well, so now we're back in the kitchen. And the ladies show up. Anthony's cleaned all up, so it looks good.
Except for it's missing the Mr. Coffee, as Lita says.
Anthony's like, "Hey, y'all, I have something important to tell you." But Lita told her everything. And Suzanne says the best stall job she's seen since her second wedding night.
Perfection.
And Julia says, when I first met Lita, I didn't like her. And when I met her again, I really didn't like her, but she obviously cares about you a lot. So there's that. And Mary Jo's just impressed that it's an honest contractor. Charlie's like, "Well, you never thought you'd have to eat a bug." And he's like, "I was never going to eat that bug." They brought a bug for him to eat. Do 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 do. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Did you find yourself a Miss Georgia World?
I didn't really like anybody's outfits that much this week.
I picked one because I liked her tent. I like Suzanne in the beginning. It's a nice purple check with the purple up underneath.
Oh yeah, I mean it's cute. I mean it was just nothing this week was like, oh, like it's usually like there's at least one outfit where I'm kind of like,
Well, I mean Charlene can't really wear anything right. I think that they're dressing people in bigger clothes since Charlene has to wear bigger clothes.
Maybe.
Like I know Suzanne is just going to be in like
because Charlene's dress was just like it was just like a sack of potatoes. Like it was good lord,
with the ugly ass bow on it.
Which just reminds us, like, also just how terrible maternity clothes used to be for women. It's like ladies just have a belly, guys. You can still make nice clothes for them.
Yeah. Well, Maim, did you enjoy this episode?
Nope. I genuinely didn't like this episode.
No.
I didn't like it. No.
Well, Maim, neither did I. I found it. I found her very obnoxious and not in a good way. I found that, and I don't think Anthony would ever be attracted to her.
Yeah, my main problem is that I didn't like, obviously because it's still in time we're gonna see her. But I really hate that the one kind of redeemable quality of hers happened off camera. I really wish, rather than her doing that thing that she did, they had that for just a split second, and then she broke down and did it. Because then we could have at least humanized her character, because, man, they just made her into a monster. Like, just a complete monster up and down. So, yeah, that's why I didn't. I mean, the rest of it was fine. I mean, it's a normal kind of filler kind of episode, but I just wish, I don't know. I don't like when they make a character that much just like one-dimensional.
Well, Maim, why don't you tell our dear listeners where they can find you?
Okay. Hello, dear listeners. It is I, Auntie Maim, your favorite relation. You can find me on the social media at Auntie Maims with an S. You can find me in real life performing improvised comedy with the Villain Theater in Miami. You can find out more about them at villaintheater.com. I also host amazing colossal karaoke every Thursday night at Killer Idol on Miami Beach. And I am a host of The Black Market, a bi-monthly dancing, singing, burlesque, and rock music event. It happens in downtown Fort Lauderdale. You can find out more about them at theblackmarketmia.com. How about you, Mims?
Hey, y'all. I'm the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me online at Divine Miss Mims. Hey, man.
Yes.
Where am I at?
Yes.
Did you know we have a Patreon?
What?
Dear listeners, if you go to patreon.com, Mims and Maim, throw us some money.
Please.
Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Do you know we have another podcast?
Yes.
It's called You Slay Me.
We
It's a
may
Murder
film
Shred
it today.
podcast. What'd you say?
I said we may film it today.
Get it wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Did you know we have merchandise?
Merchandise.
If you go to mimsandmaim.com, you can buy a nice shirt. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Do you know what else I like?
No.
I like reviews. Dear listeners, if you would leave us a review, a nice 5-star, it would really make our day or
It would.
month or year.
No, mostly just day or month.
Day or month, depending on how good it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maim, do you have anything else to add?
When's your next single coming out?
Oh, that I need to get my. We were my husband and I were talking about it before COVID, and then COVID hit us, and we're like, oh well, that's so we'll start talking about that again. That'll be in my Q1 2023. How's that?
That's so corporate of you.
Q1 2020. I also have a few other things planned in Q1 2023 that I had planned last year, but didn't do. So hopefully we'll try that again.
Yes.
I've been practicing my makeup.
I'm both excited and frightened.
Good.
You finally got an audition for Dragula?
Why don't you say goodnight, man?
Good night, babe.
Bye, y'all.